Divine greetings and gratitude, Saiyonan Collective. How are you doing? How are you feeling? I have a message for you today. I don't know exactly what this message is going to be about. However, I'm going to allow myself to open up to receive whatever messages you need to hear. I set the intention that you feel safe, warm, secure, loved, welcome into this space. I am creating a space online that we can come together, where we can come together to fellowship, to dwell, to immerse ourselves into the reservoir of divine wisdom that this universe has to offer. Thank you so much for trusting me to be the one that relays to you any messages that you may need to hear today. Thank you so much for allowing yourself to open up your heart to receive whatever messages resonate. And may you also choose to reserve what you do not need as a gift for someone else that they can use along their journey. Thank you so much for coming into this space. Again, I really do appreciate, love you, and I am honored, excited, and elated to be in your presence. And we're going to be doing a reading today because that is what I have to offer. I'm in this space of writing again, of course. So I'm letting myself just kind of flow with whatever vibes are present, and I'm allowing myself to do that. There are a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes that I'm preparing for. I am on a mission to gather as many Soul Tribe members as I possibly can. I'm creating a space online as well as in person so that we can leave something behind for our Soul Tribe and so that we can have a safe haven, not only online, but also in person, because that's where we're going to need each other the most, in person. Okay. Thank you so much for coming into this space. Any updates I may or may not give throughout the video. Right now, I just want to focus my time and attention on giving you the messages that you may need to hear right now. Okay. Yes. So we're going to be working from 3 different decks today. We're going to be working with the Westwood Tarot. We're going to be working with this Spirit Animal Oracle, and we're going to be working with this Harry Potter Magical Meditations deck that I picked this up a while ago from Barnes and Noble, I believe it was, and I'll make sure to leave a link down below. However, I can't tell you if it's going to be the exact same book, again, because I got this book or this deck in person. For those of you that do not know me, I grew up reading the Harry Potter books. In fact, it was my escape for a long time, and not even just an escape, but Harry Potter was one of the things that, or something that I deeply resonated with on a soul level. I couldn't understand it growing up as a child, but after having grown up, I understood fully why. Lo and behold, of course, here we are, deep into magic, into ancestral magic and things of that nature. So, yep. And yes, and there's also other things in there that I'm incorporating in my own space, in my own life, but in a real world way, if that makes sense. And I may or may not go into that in another video. But anyways, let's go ahead and see what messages Spirit has for us today. Thank you so much, Spirit, for allowing me to be in this space where I can share wisdom and divine love with my soul tribe. I ask that you please give me the messages that our soul tribe needs to hear. Protect me as I divine messages to give to the collective and prophesize those and give those to the Saiyonan Collective. Protect me as I immerse myself into your divine love. I welcome in ancestors who want the best for our highest and our greatest good. I know that you are always with me. I know that you are always with us. I welcome in the spiritual team of my soul tribe as well. Please give them whatever messages they need to hear at this moment. The benevolent ones who want the best for the highest and our greatest good. I just heard it's not woo-woo. I just heard the words, it's not woo-woo. That's so interesting that I'm hearing that. And that's so interesting. So I'm going to allow this to kind of just play out however it's going to play out. And it's interesting because I remember telling you at the beginning about me growing up on Harry Potter and things like that. I just heard the odd one out. If you are in this space, I want you to know that you are not odd. If anything, you may be different, right? You may be a different flavor. That I just heard an acquired taste. I mean, you may be an acquired taste, but acquired tastes are for tongues who are seasoned. That's what I'm hearing. Acquired tastes are for tongues who are seasoned. Whoa, King of Swords. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm gonna put this down. Usually, when these cards kind of flip into the deck itself without coming out, I usually just put them back. But for whatever reason, I'm just gonna allow my intuition to flow and just kind of let the card just kind of come out here. I'm sorry about that. I had to fix my ring light because I'm not getting enough lighting. I think that's good enough lighting. So yes, and I'm also going to be taking sips of tea as well. I don't know what these messages are going to be about, but we're just going to allow ourselves to okay. Whoa, you have the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. Wow, wow, wow. And you have unidentified cards. All right. What messages are we about to receive from this? Okay. You have the King of Swords that came out first, and then you had the Queen of Swords. You have a peacock here. Is that a peacock? That may or may not be a peacock. And then you have an eagle. Oh, can you see that? I hope you can see this. Okay, so wow. What am I getting with this? It's like these divine masculine and divine feminine traits coming together, yes. I just heard, okay, so remember when I heard that it's not woo woo? Okay, it's not woo woo. The fact that the King of Swords is coming out, the King of Swords did not believe in woo woo anything. It doesn't believe in mysticism. It usually doesn't deal with anything dealing with occult energy. Usually it doesn't, right? In this mundane sense, it's pure logic, pure reason, pure rationale. And it just it doesn't divine anything. So it believes, right? And the Queen of Swords is the energy where it's not as fixed, right? It's mutable. Where the king is fixed, the queens are mutable, right? The kings can only go so far. They can only move so many places. When it comes to the queen, however, the queen can move around because it's mutable. And that's exactly what the strength is. The strength of the king is its fixed energy, its dominance, and its ability to display, its ability to dominate in a certain way. It doesn't move. It's just rooted, and it stands a very long time. If you know, if I must say so myself. But the queen, the power is in its mutability, in its ability to divine information and stick to that and set the boundaries, because it understands that there is information that can be found from many different spaces, and it will not shut itself off from information. However, it will stand with what it stands with. And this energy to me is coming up as someone understanding that things may not be all that they appear to be, and your best bet right now is to stand firm into what you know to be divinely true, because things may be logically sound, but that does not mean that that's the end all be all. If anything, it only makes sense for that moment, but that does not mean that that's what the overall truth is. So I feel like with the Queen of Swords here, the Queen of Swords understands that although you may be fixed in this ideology, this belief, that's exactly what makes you stuck. Your strength is also a weakness because you feel like you don't want to move anywhere. On the other hand, you have energy where it's like you are absolutely refusing to move because you know that there is something that is divinely true, and you may have to assert yourself in a way where you don't show or express those emotional or those emotions or feelings, right? It's just, this is what I said. I'm not here to BS you. I'm not here to get my feelings involved. What I need to do is this. And I feel like if this is applying to your relationship, this is you deciding that you are not allowing yourself to be moved or swayed by the tears of someone else. You're not allowing yourself to be moved or swayed by the feelings of anyone else, because you know that there's a divine truth. If this is a job that we're talking about, you're not allowing yourself to be moved by a patriarchal system, by a matriarchal system. Instead, what you are doing is you are allowing your divine masculine and feminine energies to come together to make sound judgment. And I feel like with the King and the Queen of Swords, these are two energies that have the capacity and the capabilities of combating each other. But in this instance, I'm feeling like they're coming to some type of common agreement. I see this King of Swords here is as for whatever reason, I feel like there's a change of heart for this King of Swords, because there's something that this Queen of Swords is telling it, and it's getting into the mind of the King of Swords. But it's not anything that's malevolent. If anything, this energy is playing its cards perfect. Like perfect. It's chess, not checkers, if that makes sense. And the Queen knows that. This Queen is understanding that there's something that this King of Swords is overlooking and not seeing, because it's not allowing itself to open up to divine knowledge and divine wisdom. It only goes with pure patterns. You could go based upon somebody's pattern and say, every day you wake up at 8 o'clock, by 8:30 your teeth will have already been brushed, you make your coffee and whatnot. By 8:45 you've been done, started drinking the coffee. By 9 o'clock you'll be done. And at that point in time, you're going to go on with the next and that's the next thing, right? That's cyclical. That's pattern, right? So you can do that to create the illusion that this is what the truth is, though. But the Queen of Swords says, I know something is off, and I'm going to get to the bottom of that truth, because it allows itself to open up to other information that comes from the divine realms, right? Let's go ahead and flip this card over. You have the King of Pentacles here. My goodness. And you have the Five of Pentacles. Whoa. Okay. There's something that this Queen of Swords is seeing. This Queen of Swords is like, I'm seeing some kind of loss, and I'm preparing and planning to prevent this loss, or I'm prepping and planning so that when this comes, we have everything we need. King of Swords' mind is on, okay, I want to get this together. I already have, I'm established. Queen of Swords says, that's cute, but you need to understand that if you do not move, there will be some type of loss or something that will hit you where it hurts. Okay. And I feel like the Queen is giving a warning. There's a warning being given. There's some type of warning being given. So wow. And then of course you have the Tower card here. That's at the bottom of the deck. Exactly. She's warning. The Queen of Wands. Not, I'm sorry. I don't know why I want to say the Queen of Wands, but the Queen of Swords is giving a warning. It's coming up as, I'm trying to tell you that you need to prepare and to plan. So if this is global, this means that you are really wanting to be careful with what you're investing in. Truly be careful. Because the last thing you want is for something to come and then it just sucks you dry. This is bringing me life savings, and then all of a sudden, in a matter of minutes, it's gone or in a matter of days, it's gone because something happened. There was like a leakage. I'm sensing a leakage. You want to check pipes. You want to check. I don't know why I'm getting a vision of groundhogs, but I'm seeing groundhogs like in the ground, and they keep like whatever you're planting, it's like they're getting to it. I don't know why I'm seeing that. I'm seeing I think they're called gophers, where they're in the ground and like they kind of burrow themselves, and then for whatever reason they keep creating these holes in the ground, and when you step on it, it's like, what the hell is that? And then it's like, man, these damn gophers, like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm getting. It's definitely earth rooted. That does make sense. I just heard the words like loss of crops. I really want you to keep your eyes out on environmentalism at the moment, because I feel like we're going to need to start stepping up more as far as environmentalism is concerned. The Five of Pentacles, or the Pentacles cards, are not just about it's not just about money. It's earth energy, and I feel like there's drastic changes happening with that. If this is in your personal life, and look at that, Ace of Swords, I'm onto something. Ace of Swords, Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords. I hate that. I don't want to be this person, but not all readings are going to be butterflies and rainbows. I mean, they're just not going to be that. So basically, I feel like what this is, it's a drastic change, but I'm also seeing an opportunity. I just heard the words joint forces. I need these two to get along. Everybody has a fear. Everybody has something that they fear, or that it's hard for them to let go of, right? Unless you've been in a process where you finally felt that you needed to release it and you released it, right? But 9 times out of 10, someone is holding on to something. It doesn't have to be that way, but someone is. And so I need you to remember that you are stronger with than without in some cases. Okay. And I want you to remember that this is the energy that wants you truly to I don't know why I'm hearing like the words let go of whatever happened in the past and come together, because when you do that, you create dramatic change, and that is the truth. Okay, join forces with someone or something that allows you to keep your head on straight. There's something we have to okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, I'm seeing a trend of people online, and I'm noticing it in the YouTube realm as well. You're gonna keep in this. I'm gonna say this, and I know that the people are not gonna like that I'm saying this, but it is what it is. You know, not every. I'm not here to be liked, but those who get it will get it. There is a wave of people on these platforms who know that the only way for them to keep themselves paid is by validating your feelings and emotions. They know that. And so they're going to do things that are going to bring you in because they know that you're coming from a world that was so rigorous and did not allow you the space to feel. But people are preying on that. Like, they need that. They love the fact that you're in this space, right? And some of them may not be, but they may not love the fact you're in this space. But some people are like, yep, I'm going to use this to make a buck. Why? They are strategizing they're strategizing to ensure that when you are in this space that they benefit off of that by validating you. They may not even tell you what you need to hear, but they'll tell you what you want to hear because it keeps you coming back. And you are not going to find that space here. I am in a space where in my life where I'm like, I refuse to do anything like that. If something comes up in a reading, it's coming up for a reason, and I'm not going to sit here and coddle you in a way that keeps you dependent on me. If you're in this space, you're sovereign. If you're in this space, you're looking for answers, and I welcome that, but I will not baby. My words may hold you, but you have the power and the capacity to make the change that you need. So if you are here, then you are in alliance. You are in agreement that you are not becoming dependent on a system. You come here for spiritual protection. You have that. Yes, I will spiritually protect you in all the ways that I can. I'm not spiritually responsible for you, but I will be here to spiritually protect you in ways that I can. So I want you to understand that if you are going to let go of these things, if you are going to prevent the loss, or if you are going to get through it, you're going to have to detach from the idea that you're here to be emotionally coddled. And this may not be true for you, but maybe this is just the truth that needs to be said altogether. And I'm just simply allowing myself to move with the energy. It just is what it is. Okay. I love you truly. And out of that love, I will tell you the truth. And this was the truth that somebody needed to hear. Spirit, what is the positive outcome of this situation? What is the positive? Give me 1 second, you guys. I have to go and open this door really quick. I'll be right back. My apologies. I had to stop because there was a lot of commotion going on in the background. And I also grabbed a little bit to eat and I got some water and whatnot, but we're back. So basically, from what I remember, it's really just about these two energies coming together, this king and this queen coming together. This could be a representation of your masculinity and femininity coming together to plan, to prep, to prepare, but to also set things in order. I heard a word. It was declaration. I almost kind of feel like someone's making some kind of declaration and they're choosing to eliminate, not even just eliminate, but they're choosing to purge and to let go of things that once weighed them down and that once kept them stuck in this. I just heard the word shibalba. This reminds me of this like a bunch of swords, like having to dodge a bunch of swords. I don't know why it's bringing me to that, but of course it would, because all the swords here, but it almost kind of feels like someone is declaring that they're no longer allowing themselves to be weighed down, pushed back, or even barricaded by all of these different thoughts, opinions, ideas, and threats. Like, I don't know why I'm picking up on the word threats, but instead of these two threatening each other, which they more than likely have had a past of doing, it's almost like we're saying, I just keep hearing the word alliance and I keep hearing declaration. There's some type of declaration. And I don't know why I'm hearing a declaration of independence. You may want to look into that. the original Declaration of Independence, and also this could be you declaring your own independence. And I feel like you seen loss, you're preparing for loss, but also I feel like I just keep hearing the word drainage. Like the word just keeps coming through as drainage, like drainage, drainage, drainage. I'm not chanting that for you to receive that. I do feel like if you've been saving, you will be perfectly fine. And there's always another opportunity for better. Spirit, can you please give me look at that. Now you have like the Knight of Swords. Damn. And the Five of Swords. My goodness. I have not seen this many swords in a long time in a reading. In a long time. I'm noticing a pattern here. There's some kind of movement. You're really being urged, like not even asked. You're being urged to come out of the fighting. Like the fighting needs, like whatever this fighting is, this war that's going on, it's a mental battle. It's a mental battle, it's a spiritual battle. And Spirit is saying you don't need to be at war with anybody. Not with their words, not with their beliefs, not with their perceptions, because truly what is causing all of this is perception and ideas and who wants to be more dominant in their ideas. And that's really all that it is. And what I'm hearing is that you don't have to speak another person's language. Wow, the Three of Swords just came out. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like what I'm seeing here, I just feel somebody's feelings is going to end up hurt. Someone here is just someone's like worst nightmare is approaching. Like someone's worst nightmare is playing out right now. If your worst nightmare is playing out right now, Spirit, I would like to ask you to give me something to even this out, to make it a bit more positive and a bit more freeing. I just heard Spirit say, no, you need to sit with the truth. There's some type of truth that your guides are wanting you to sit with. And I'm hearing the words guilt and I'm hearing shame. And they're asking for you to sit with that. They're saying to you that to pull back and to pull out of anything that's making you feel like you're being emotionally coddled, because sometimes that could be very detrimental. Imagine you walk around with the baby on your hip all day and then they never learn to walk. At some point, they're going to have to learn how to walk. They're going to have to learn how to stand on their own. And that's even if, assuming that, the baby doesn't have anything going on, with legs or structure with the, with whatever, if you know what I mean. So basically, I feel like it's this idea that eventually this baby is going to have to grow up. It's going to have to walk. And along the way, the baby may, hurt itself. It may fall, right? And sometimes it's super cute, but sometimes the falls are just so dramatic. And sometimes it does feel that way. Sometimes I end up with little boo-boos and sometimes I end up with little scrapes. And it's a part of life. Like it's almost like a condition of life where the suffering is almost unavoidable. And they're saying that in this instance, the suffering is unavoidable. And what they mean by the suffering is they're saying that whatever you had an attachment with, if you have an attachment to something, then the suffering is unavoidable. But if you allow yourself to pull back and to really tune into your ability to think about what is happening in your life, not to you, but just simply happening in your life, then you can plan accordingly. So what they're saying is that they really do want you, they want you to just sit with that. And not every reading is going to be the reading where you're going to feel like, I don't know why I feel the need to say this again, but it's just, this is not one of those readings where I'm going to be like, yes, you're on top of the world right now. Or I can speak words of affirmation into you, but Spirit is telling me to tell you the truth. And the truth is that there's something that you need to sit with. And I just heard that they're not going to air you out on the internet. In fact, they're pulling back from even giving me any information. They say that they know that you know what I'm talking about. And it's not up for debate. And it's also not up for me as a seer to tell you. They're saying that this reading is for, and it's so funny because look at this. At the very bottom of this deck, you have experiencing loss. Wow, you have experiencing loss and you also have battling our fears. Like you cannot make this up. Someone's fears is so obvious right now. They're so obvious. I'm going to I'm going to read this to you. In Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Harry loses his godfather Sirius when Beatrix Lestrange kills him during a duel in the Department of Mysteries. Devastated with grief and rage, Harry chases after Beatrix and uses the the Crusadus course, an unforgivable curse to bring her down. And it doesn't work because Harry doesn't really mean it. He is just reacting to his pain. Have you ever lashed out after suffering or a terrible blow? What were the consequences? Did it make you feel better or worse? Wow, exactly. So there's this idea of something or not something, but someone having to sit with something. And if this was you, where you felt betrayed, where you felt like someone did something to overpower you and you're lashing out, all you're doing is perpetuating the fight. Somebody has to pull back in order to bring balance. Somebody has to say, when is the fighting going to stop? And it has to be one of those things where you have to really sit down with the truth. You have to sit with that truth. Okay. And then you also have here battling our fears. But happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to turn on the light. Professor Dumbledore, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. What brings you happiness when you are experiencing your darkest moments? That's the reason why Spirit said, no, you need to sit with that. Because what they're saying is that the truth is the light. Okay, the truth is a light. And sometimes the truth can be so devastatingly shattering. But that's where you know that you can rebuild. There's something that's going to happen here where if you've been doing something, or if you've been sneaky, or if you've been doing something that you know that you probably shouldn't have been doing, and things start to hit the fan, this is where you rebuild. And that's the encouraging message. That's the encouraging message, is that there is always an opportunity to rebuild. That's why you have the King of Pentacles here. And also you have the Lover's card. It's all a matter of choice. It's a matter of you choosing, standing on your own, right? Speaking of standing on your own, you have the King of Wands here. If you're looking for an encouraging message, this is it. Standing on it, speaking the truth, being honest, integrity, facing your fears, whatever your fears are, face those fears. And guess what? When you do that, things start to work out. Things start to work out. Three of Pentacles, people coming together. People start to see you. They want to build with you. Be honest. If you were wrong, apologize. And look at that. Now we have the Empress. Look at that. The Empress. Exactly. Take a gentler approach. It's coming through right now. But yes, that's exactly what I feel. And I feel like this is a time where when you face that truth and when you face whatever this is that you have a hard time saying out loud, it's the very thing that you have a hard time voicing out loud. You have to sit with the ugly. You have to sit with the disgust. You have to sit with that, because when you do, that there in itself is you letting the universe know that you're willing to change. When you're sitting with it. And they want you to choose the positive change. That's what they're wanting from you right now. Wow, look at that. And then you have Butterfly. Transformation is beautiful. This is the encouraging message. You must sit with the hard truth first. There is no way out of this except going through the knives. You may be ripped apart, you may be shredded, but you will also be rebuilt. And you will also come back together. Spirit is wanting you to stand for truth right now, no matter what it looks like. Set healthy boundaries. Set healthy boundaries with yourself and set healthy boundaries with others. That's the truth. Okay. Is there anything else, Divine, that you want me to mention at this moment? Okay. They're saying put these back. Okay, no worries. Let me go ahead and just... Is that all? Oh, look at that. Reclaim your power. Sometimes life stings. See the bigger picture. Exactly. And that's it. That's all she wrote. These three. That's all she wrote. Uh-oh. So you have... Well, not this one. Reclaim your power, Panther spirit, Wasp spirit, sometimes life stings, and Giraffe spirit, see the big picture. Exactly. This is one of those things where, can I move this light up a little bit so we can get some more good lighting up in here, because it's not the best right now. So we have, again, these three. So with these three, this is definitely spirit letting you know that it's definitely time for you to start saying, this happened, I did this, you did this, I'm choosing differently. Sometimes this hurts, but I see the overall idea of this, and the overall idea is that if I would have done this, this and this and this would have happened, or wouldn't have happened. You have to sit with whatever this is first. Spirit is saying to you right now to sit with whatever the ugly is. Sit with the ugly. Not everything is going to be so beautiful, pink and blue and cloud and just sparkly and things of that nature. Sometimes you're going to have to travel down the pits of hell to reach the truth, because sometimes the very thing that you're avoiding is the truth that you need to hear. Sometimes it is, but you have the power and the choice. You have the power to say, I choose differently, even after sitting with this. I am not my circumstances. I am not these fears. I am not what people believe me to be. I am so much more than that. I have a capacity for greatness, and therefore I am great. And I choose to learn from my mistakes. I choose forgiveness. And that's what your guides want you to know. If this reading helped you, I hope that it did, please feel free to visit me online over at thesayonanpath.org. I want you to know that I love you, and I want you to know that you are safe to be honest with yourself. You are safe to be honest with others, okay? If you want to go deeper with any readings, make sure that you click any link down in the description box or down in the comment section. That way we can go deeper. If you need spiritual guidance or like a one-on-one because you're dealing with some kind of fear, or because you feel like you need guidance or you need confession time, as I want to call it, I am only but a reservation away. I believe there's an email in the bio site. You can click on the link in the bio, and then it'll take you to the links that you would need. I think it has TikTok, Instagram, email, and things like that, YouTube. There's several ways to reach me, okay? So if you need that, let me know down in the comment section. If this was all you needed to hear, let me know. Give this video a thumbs up, a like, a love, a beautiful comment, and also share this with anyone that you think would benefit from it. And also know that not all readings are going to be this way. This was just a reading that needed your attention. It just so happened that today was the day. So during this time, during the Cancer full moon, I believe, just sit with that truth. It's going to shine a light on it, and things may hit the fan. However, you are equipped with everything you need. And if you feel that you are not, welcome to the Saiyonan Collective, because you will be equipped. You will be equipped. And also, I would love for you to join our Saiyonan Circle, which is the Coven. And that is where you can reach you can have one-on-one support in some ways, and you can also have access to information and readings that I will not give to the public. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Love you, and I'll catch you in my next video.